just as you see in the title of this video, excuse me, this is the fundamental video, right? I'm going to show you how to use fundamental data to then help your bias, help your understanding towards economics, and just get you a better understanding towards like what positions you need to take, what assets are going to be moving, and how to understand the valuation of those assets at the given time based on fundamental data. So this won't be a long video. This is just something simple, short, simple, and sweet that I wanted to put it with this course. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you what Forex Factory Calendar looks like, how I'll go about interpreting data, and then I'll also show y'all a quick chart real quick just to give y'all a quick little understanding of how to take your positions into consideration beforehand, before data even drops or right as data drops. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right, bet. All right, let me hide this. So cool. This is the Forex Factory calendar right here, right? This is a place where I come and get all of my data. It's a free website. Pretty much I try to just use this to get a better understanding of what assets are going to be moving, when they're moving, and then how to just make decisions on the positions I plan on taking, right? So we can see here, this was Monday, March 10th, right? 2025. We had final GDP price index, final GDP quarter to quarter, final GDP price index year to year, final GDP over quarter to quarter, and the M2 money stock year to year. All right. So cool. Imagine like it's 6:30, 6:45, and a matter of fact, at 6:30 we had household spending as well. So that's pretty much the most important data coming out for the before the Tokyo session, which starts at 7 p.m. here, Central Standard Time. And I'm gonna just show you a chart with the Japanese yen. So we can really go GJ. Okay. So this was Monday, right? If I take it to the 1 hour time frame, let's find Monday, March 10th. All right. So cool. That data came out at 6:30 and then 6:50, I believe. Yep. So along this time, right? This is how you also need to do your top-down analysis with the anticipation of data that is coming out, right? So clearly I'm gonna start on the higher time frame and I'm gonna work my way back. So I'm gonna honestly go like here just to like matter of fact, I'll even go here just to show you what like thought process is that needs to be with like that you need to have coming into these positions. Okay. All right. So I'll clear my chart. Matter of fact, remove these drawings. All right. So cool. Let's fast forward a little bit to like 18. Let's just go like 16, 1700 hours. Right? 16, 1700 hours. That'll be 4 p.m., 5 p.m., right? Military standard time, right? So if you think about the military time, 16, 1700 hours, that'll be 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. All right, so we got 3 p.m. right here. Let's do one more. Boom. Okay. So this is 4 p.m. right here. 1600 hours, right? As you can see. Now I did 2 hours, like I did 2 hours before the data comes out just to give myself enough time. Also do my top-down analysis, get an understanding of like price action, and then just like kind of just be setting myself up for the positions to come based on the data that's supposed to come out. So I'll honestly do one more. Let's go 16, 1700 hours. Yeah. And then 1800 hours would be 6 p.m. All right. So cool. I'm on a higher time frame. I'm on 1 hour. Let me go to the 4 hour real quick. All right. So as we can see right here, right, the current trend is going down. All right. So that's first things first. Right. But I also see areas of liquidity that price has formed and pushed up higher. All right. Or just moved pretty significantly. Right. So cool. First thing now I'm seeing is we have a previous low over here. This was February, right? Price retraced all the way down, came back and made a higher low right here. Came back down, went up, came back down, made another higher low, went back up, came back down. And this is where price is at currently, right? So if I wanted to, I could draw a trend line here. There's many different things you could do here, right? Clearly, since the trend is going down from this past week, you could draw a downwards trend line and wait for the breakthrough of the trend line for price to push up higher back to this previous high, right? You could draw a trend line right here, looking for a break of this trend line, maybe scale down, take positions back to lower lows, uh, right, and go so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just stick to the daily time frame from now. I'm gonna get the best understanding from here, and then I'll go in more in depth from the smaller time frames. All right. So what I like to do, I like to draw a trend line. Right. This is just part of my strategy, my approach. Right. Not everybody likes trend lines. Not everybody likes support and resistance. Right. Like people just kind of do breakouts and like fake outs, like whatever the case may be. Like it's all based on your approach, how you see the market, how long you've been like studying your pair, and then understanding like what moves these asset classes, right? So as you can see, right, like I mentioned earlier, we got a low BMA that was made, price push up. This is all different, like different days too. Like this is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So there's so many like movements here in the matter of like days, right? This is just like where you need to get to get your best understanding, right? I like to go the past week, the past 2 days. Like I don't need to go no further than like a week when I'm doing my top down analysis, right? Even if I went to the weekly time frame, you can see price was just pushing up higher, right? And honestly, it's been respecting this trend line. Like we had a push up, retest, another push up, retest. Like this is just bouncing off the trend line, okay? So from here, knowing I have the data coming out in approximately, let's see the 30-minute time frame, where we at right here? 17:30. So we got data coming out in about an hour. Okay. So what I like to do is also on this higher time frame, I'm gonna highlight my previous low. I'm gonna just draw a box. That's what I was doing when I had the boxes there. This is all areas of liquidity right here. Okay. So as prices reaching this, like I'm either going to be taking a quick enough scalp based on how the data comes out, if the strength of the data for the Japanese yen was to be coming out stronger, I'd be taking quick scalps to the downside for a sell because the Japanese yen is the second currency in this currency pair, right? Whenever you're looking for the strength of the yen, that means you're taking sales. And this is not for obviously every pair, but like obviously if the second pair is gaining strength, you're looking for a sell. If the first currency is gaining strength, you're looking for a buy. Okay. Pretty sure I mentioned that in my past videos. Go back and watch those if you haven't, and just do take some notes on that. But for now, as I'm on my 1 minute, on 1 hour, 30 minute, right, I can still see that price is just continuously trending down. Okay. But we're reaching the area where price has rejected before and pushed up higher. So I need to be careful. Okay. So from right here where price is at 189, 238, we're probably about like, let's say 23 pips from here, another 20 pips. So we're about almost a good 40 to 50, maybe 60 pips away from this area of liquidity that sat here when price pushed up the last time. All right. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And honestly, like I try to keep my charts pretty neat. Like I don't like to have just a bunch of shit on my charts or even like big ass boxes like this. So obviously, as you scale down to different time frames, like you'll be able to figure out what areas you need to really target and be mindful of because it's just keeping a neat chart just does I just do better work, right? Excuse me. Thought a sneeze was coming. Oh shit. All right. So cool. Now I'm on the 10-minute time frame. Now I can start to look how price is going to be moving at a micro scale and just be understanding areas of liquidity where price could be rejecting. Okay. So I'm gonna move the time up. Well, we got about 30 minutes from here. So okay, cool. Now watch how price plays out leading up to this data. Okay. So this is 1810. All right, we broke through this level here. Cool. We've reached the bottom of this trend line. Cool. All right. That's 1820. Okay. Now watch this. So look, we had household spending, right? Household spending it's not yellow. I mean, it's not red or orange. Like it doesn't seem to be as heavy impactful towards the currency, but I like it. This is one of the pieces of data that I actually like. I'm pretty sure I took a position with this news. If not, it's okay. I like household spending. I like knowing what's another piece? Average household earnings, right? I like to know how consumers are actually like feeling about the current economy, right? So household spending is a leading indicator to show that the households that are in the respective country, like if their spending has went up or went down, right? So since the spending came down, right, it went to the forecast number was 3.7%, right? The previous number was 2.7. So they forecasted more spending than they did the previous month or the previous year, because this is year to year, right? But this number came out so much more weaker, which gives like a negative sentiment, which is also like the negative emotion towards like the strength of the yen, because obviously people are not confident in their own currency based on the different tariffs that are coming out, and just like whether it's inflation going on in the country, whether it's political issues, you know what I'm saying? So it's different things like this that cause uh, emotion and fear or excitement in a given asset, right? So this is why fundamentals is important, okay? So now we can see how price had reached this area and is rejecting it, okay? So from here, this is where I'm gonna draw my next box. So I'll do it like this, honestly, um, just to show a past area of resistance, okay? So since I know this is also an area where price had rejected before and shot up, because look, well, it's close enough to it. This is what, maybe eight. So let's see, 189. So just say about 20, 30 pips from an area where price really shot up. So if I want to say 188.80, we're probably about like 20 pips, 25 pips, 30 pips away from this up. So just kind of got to be mindful still. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to let's go to the 1 minute. Let's see how price is playing out. Okay. So cool. We got a reversal here. Price engulfed all this. Pushed up, reached that area of liquidity up here. So it obviously has to retest. Now we have another engulfing candle. This is probably where I would have made my entry with a stop loss below here. And then we can see how prices is going to react here. So be mindful. The data dropped at data would be dropping here in 1 minute, 18:30, 6:30, right? So let's see how this plays out. Okay, cool. So the data just dropped. Okay. Now, one thing you need to know is also there are fake outs. There are also like ways, they call it manipulation, right? But people don't really understand price action. They don't really understand like fundamentals, right? The reason why fake outs happen is because either number one, majority of the retail traders that are trading at that time have no understanding of current price action levels or the understanding of the fundamentals and why I moved that way. Okay. And number two, seeing the area of liquidity down here, they didn't have the trend line set. They didn't have this marked off as like a higher area of liquidity where price has pushed up before. So they're not going to respect that. They just thought that Japanese yen strength news was coming out. Oh, I'm gonna take a sell for the yen. Okay. So this is probably why price had shot down. Luckily, well, I'll have to see here in the next few minutes, but price did not reach this level yet. So clearly price could be just rejecting and heading to the upside. Okay. So now that we know the data is coming out at 6:30 and the data came out weaker for the strength of the Japanese yen, now let's look to see if we can get buys for the sake of the Great British Pound because of the way the data had just came out. All right. So let's see. Boom. Okay. Push up. So now we have this candle, these candles reject this engulf this previous high, right? Now we know that we're looking good for the upside. Okay. So cool. I probably would have gotten an entry right here with my stop loss right below here because this is a new higher low right here. Okay. And then I'm targeting at least this good. I'm looking to get at least a good 2-to-1. So in all honesty, like for the sake of just this video alone and getting it done, but I would have been targeting a 2-to-1, which would probably been somewhere up here. I probably would have just got it at least to here because this was a break of structure for me. So let's see how this plays out. And then also be mindful, like this is right at 1850, which is 650 when the next piece of data is going to come out. And also that data came out weaker for the strength of the Japanese yen, which would give an even higher push up for the sake of the Great British Pound. So let's see how it plays out. Okay, so cool. I'm seeing a big enough rejection here. Mind you, all of this was in profit. Okay. So even if I got a good 1-to-1 risk reward, fine. Obviously, if I was on this 1 minute watching this the whole time, seeing this big black candle engulf all of this, I probably would have closed the position because I know that that's more of a bearish sentiment and then price will be going against me. Okay. So cool. Not really irritated. We have about 3 minutes. And that's another piece of thing. That's another thing to note as well. Seeing as this a big area of liquidity, which is why price pushed down as aggressively as it did for the banks in Japan trying to save the strength of the currency pretty much. Like with this next piece of data that's to come out, it's clear to see why like price even shot down as hard. So knowing how this data even came out weaker, right? We only had the final GDP price index shoot up by 0.01% or 0.1%, right? Not really strong enough. And then the rest of the data came out weaker than what was forecasted and weaker than the previous data as well. So it's just bad sentiment. It's just weaker economy. It's showing weaker economy, weaker strength to the Japanese yen. So let's see if we can get further push-ups for the Great British pound. Boom. Okay. And it took me out right then within fucking two candles. Okay. And mind you, my stop loss never got hit. My stop loss never got hit. Even if I had it further here, I'm good. Like I'm still good. So if I wanted to target that 2 to 1, right? Let's see if we can get that. Right. Mind you, like this is another thing that I want to put into the video. Um, you know, scaling in different positions, right? Seeing as the way the strength came out weaker after this big push up like that, I know I would have been taking another position probably. And then my first position after it came back up here, like if I didn't close this, I would have been closed it at this level. Okay. And then my second position, I would have just had to take profit up here for the sake of compounding the overall trade, right? Like you could take multiple positions on one trade setup. Okay. I hope that makes sense, right? Like if I was in a sale and I took the sale here, boom, price was retracing, and I took another sale here for the sake of just getting back to this level alone, that's two positions in one trade setup. So I hope that makes sense, right? But let's watch the rest of this. Boom. Okay. Clear as fucking day, right? This is why fundamentals is important. This is why you need to understand economical data, get to understand who these people are in office and what their emotion is and what they are trying to do as far as their current policies. And just get to better understand like economics at a macro level, at a micro level. Like I'm not profoundly just a fundamental trader, but I know how important it is to really make informative decisions towards this, like any asset that you're trading, right? Um, yeah. They're like four major like analysis you need to do per setup. It's a fundamental analysis, intermarket analysis, a sentiment analysis, and a technical analysis, right? Shout out to Josh Paveo as well. He was one of my mentors. I actually learned that from him, the FIST analysis. That's literally the fundamental intermarket sentiment and the technicals, right? So with those four analysis in mind, you can make the best decision towards any position you're looking to take. And there are times where data is not going to come out for whatever pair you're looking to trade, but just being able to be aware of it and know how to trade it based off of technicals as well, because of the levels that they are at, where price is sitting at, you can make better informed decisions. So I hope this video really made sense. I feel like it was my best detailed one because I actually got to show you like technicals, intermarket. Well, I didn't really talk too much about intermarket because these two currencies, they actually don't have much correlation, which is why it's one of my favorite pairs. And then the sentiment, right? Sentiment is pretty much just understanding the overall emotion of the market and the overall emotion of like the traders and investors at the time because of the way the decision that the news or the way that the news has come out and how they plan on making decisions towards their own trades. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this even rolled up even higher. Um, and mind you guys, like I know I just did a bar replay chart. I know I've seen the way the price action went right before this, before I even turned this on, but like clearly like I'm showing you live like how to have a better analysis and understanding towards the assets you're trading. I just did it for you. Like even I have different markups right now, like than what I did. I have support and resistance at levels. Like that's why the green and the red box was there. So I don't mean to like, you know, be an ass right now. It's just a matter of like I'm literally showing y'all what it takes to actually be thorough in this skill. So as I progress, I want others to progress, and I want to just share this knowledge and really help everybody get paid from it. So I think it's a great skill to acquire and be confident and know what like how to make just better informed decisions about your resources, your way of living, things of that nature. So, and just look how perfectly like price is retracing, like from this level, like that's skill. Like you can't make that shit up, right? So I hope y'all take notice. And yeah, have a great day. As soon as you see this shit, give me 25 push-ups because we all need that shit. Let's get it.